How doth one love thyself on a planet where self-hatred is the noble thing to do, you might ask? If you struggle with self-love, it's for good reason. Let's dive into it and begin peeling back the layers so you can make conscious corrections of unconscious programming.
The universe is really enfolded within each one of us, that the entirety of the cosmos is accessible through each and every individual's mind, connecting to the great mind, the great spirit.
What's up, guys? I'm Nick the Mystic, a cosmic being here on an Earth mission to help remind you of who you truly are. Every time you deflect a compliment or downplay an aspect of yourself, it's a small act of self-rejection and builds over time and trains your subconscious mind to reject anything that's good about you. Everything in this reality is curated to pull away at your own worthiness and make you feel less than. Yet worthiness has nothing to do with anything outside of you. It's an internal state of being, of your own acceptance of your divinity. What self-love is projected as: having the perfect body, going to yoga, eating a specific diet, being in the best relationship, buying the most bougie things, traveling to the most exotic places, spending the most money on high-ticket coaches if you are ready for true transformation. Ghosting people is an act of self-righteousness or canceling people and calling it justified free speech. Cutting off a toxic person and seeing all that's bad and wrong about them and calling it boundaries and empowerment. What self-love actually is: looking at the parts of you that don't feel okay, that feel less than or inadequate, and loving them as you would an innocent child. Letting go of toxic people, situations, or environments that trigger your deepest wounds and have no regard or care for your well-being because they are not willing to look in the mirror or change the way that they are in relation to you. Choosing out of things that activate your nervous system because you are no longer willing to put your mind or body through things that it doesn't deserve to go through anymore. Having really difficult conversations, whether with you or another person, to create a clean, energetic space of resolution and inner peace. Being honest with yourself and others about your life experience and the humanness of it all, while still framing your words and intentions around what you are creating. Not living by the beliefs of other people and their projections of how they think you should live, and honoring your own truth by following what feels good and true for you, and most in alignment with your soul. A quote that I've really been allowing to marinate into my subconscious mind for about the last 5 months or so by a psychologist, Carl Rogers. He's no longer here in the earth plane, but this quote really resonated with me. And it's: the curious paradox is when I accept myself exactly as I am, then I can change. The reason why I love this quote so much is because it goes against all of our societal programming of, when I achieve this, then I will feel this way. When I am in this soulmate relationship, then I will know love. When I create this amount of money, then I will be successful. When I have the perfect body, then I will be worthy. And it changes the whole frame of how we've been conditioned to, no. When I accept myself exactly as I am, moment to moment to moment to moment, then I have created the space within me to then make conscious choices to change for the better. So oftentimes we change through shame, or we change through these feelings of inadequacy. So it's this constant pushing, it's this constant wounded masculine energy in order for us to do anything in our lives. And it's like going against our natural inherent life force energy because we're doing things and making decisions based on outside sources of how we think is the right thing to do. But the reality is there's no one right way to live. And the sooner that humanity can realize that, they'll get off everyone's back and start focusing on their own life and living the way that their soul intended before they came here. That is the part of planet Earth that we get to really embrace and accept and have fun with and play with, is that each individual soul wanted their own unique, rare, and particular experience for what their soul was most desiring, for the lessons that they wanted to learn, for the aspects of themselves that they wanted to grow into. A lot of times in the coaching industry, why people can't change is because it's from a subconscious energetic of shame. So you can kind of begin tuning into this with different healers, mentors, coaches in the personal development, spiritual development world, is their tonality of their voice. And this is something I'm working on myself. I know that sometimes when I share things or lessons or things like that, it can come from a harsher tone. So I've personally been really working on softening the way that I present things, because here's the thing. Whenever there's any ounce of projection or shame or this is the right way to do things, this is the right way to ascend, like my program is the best program, I have the information because I have access to it and you don't, therefore you need me. When it comes from that energetic and people are intaking that information, they're now intaking that information from not only the standpoint of the actual words that are being portrayed, but now the energy in which that information is being held, right? So you can be listening to the most profound information and you're like, yeah, that resonates, I feel that. But the way that it is being projected, the way that it is being presented, you're now intaking that information from that energetic state. So if that healer, that coach, that mentor, that speaker, teacher, guru, whatever you want to call it, if they have their own shame that they haven't fully processed through, and it's coming from a voice of like condemnation or judgment, or again, very linear thinking, like this is the wrong way, this is the right way, you're now programming your subconscious mind to continue believing and seeing things from that standpoint. Regardless of whether the aspect of what they're sharing is true or not, like if it is true, you're now holding on to it with that blanket of shame. So the quickest way for us to learn how to love ourselves is to release shame. Oh, shame is such a heavy energetic. Oh, and it's like making me tear up a little bit. Just because it's been so big for me most of my life, I feel like I've been living in shame for so long. It's just this feeling of bad and wrong. There's something bad and wrong about me. I'm always trying to fix myself, like making a laundry list of all the things that I need to do in order to feel worthy. And it's like I've been on my own hamster wheel of perpetuating the matrix, even though I'm doing these spiritual things and I'm learning and I'm healing and I'm growing and I'm evolving and I'm ascending. It's still from that energetic of shame. Through things I experienced in childhood, through things that I picked up through my generational bloodlines. And as long as I am still holding on to that energy, my human can't meet the vibration of my soul because they're not an energetic match. Because my reality in my life has been so focused on doing things to feel worthy, on overperforming, overachieving, being a perfectionist, doing everything right so I can receive the love, attention, and adoration that my little Nikki learned at a very young age was the only way to receive love. When I'm coming from that place, I can't grow and I can't know the worthiness that I am because I'm seeking it outside of myself when it is a state of being. So if you want to allow yourself to feel more worthy, it's an inner game. An inner game of alignment with your soul. And anything that makes you feel bad or less than or inadequate, you can automatically place as a lie. you can automatically place as an illusion. Because if it were true, you'd feel good about it, period. Very simple way of navigating that. If it feels good, it's in alignment with my soul. If it doesn't feel good, it's not in alignment with my soul. So what is it I can do in this moment to release any form of obligation to meet any external standards to create an internal feeling, and then go inward and fuel yourself back up? We are constantly giving from empty cups and wondering why we feel so unsatisfied, so depleted, so just unappreciated and not seen for who we truly are. But it's because we're not filling up our own cup, because we're not sitting with the uncomfortable feelings and we're stuffing it with people, places, and things to give us very temporary relief from the inner pain that we're feeling. And then when we go back into our own space and the programs start kicking up again and the volume's turning up a lot louder, that feeling of wanting to escape comes back in again. The more you can realize and remember that you are worthy because you are, that you are a divine soul created from the magnificent energy of all that is. We are all worthy. We are all worthy. And the sooner we acknowledge the game of this reality that everything is tailored to pull away at what you feel is what makes you worthy, and you're like, oh, I see that society is curated to feed on these lies and illusions so that they can be these businesses, so they can market this product, so they can market this thing. Once you realize that and you're able to come to a place into your heart where you can breathe into something before choosing into something, you can realize if something is true for you or not. And it's not to say that any of the things that I listed earlier are bad of what we perceive to mean self-love. It's that it depends on the place that it's coming from. Is it coming from your wounds or is it coming from your truth? It's very different. You can do all of those things. You can go on those exotic trips. You can spend the multiple thousands and thousands of dollars on high ticket coaches. You can do whatever it is that you want from a place of truth, from the place of, I am this worthy and I get to invest this in myself because I get to have this experience. That's the difference, not the, oh, I hope this coach gives me the codes that I need and then maybe I'll feel worthy. Like, maybe let me just give you all of this money so then you can tell me how worthy I am. It's a very different energetic. So remember, you are worthy because you are. And any time that anything inside of you or outside of you makes you feel that feeling of unworthiness, go back into your heart. Go back into your heart and remind yourself, I am worthy because I am. And everyone else is worthy because they are. Would you look at a newborn baby and say, you're not worthy because you haven't achieved X, Y, and Z in your 3 minutes of being on earth? Like, no. Why is it that a beautiful, innocent child is worthy, yet as we get older, as we get into school, as we get into sports, as we get into all of these things, now all of a sudden we're not worthy? We really want to start looking at the way that we're programming ourselves and really even working with anyone in our lives, our friends, our family, children, who are so fragile and so gentle on their self-image, and let them know that their achievements have nothing to do with their worthiness. That their skills and abilities or maybe weaknesses over here and strengths over here have nothing to do with their worthiness. You are worthy because you are. You are worthy because you exist. It's that simple. Worthiness is not something we measure. It is not an ingredient in a recipe. Worthiness is just you being the divine being that is you. Period. So I hope this message helps. I hope there were things that were able to unlock inside of you, no matter how big or small, and just allowing yourself to let in more of that worthiness that is you. Because the more we can fill up our own cups and reaffirm to ourselves how worthy we are, we're going to attract people, places, and situations that see our divinity, that see our worthiness, that treat us with respect, that treat us with honor, that love us and adore us. But it all starts within first. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm excited for you to begin peeling these layers so you can remember the truth of who you are, because you deserve to remember your own divinity in this human experience. And if you want to dive deeper and really heal those wounded aspects of you that you are ready to bring home, I'm opening up spots for one-to-one coaching, so the details are down below in the description, or you can find me on Instagram at Nick the Mystic and DM me and we can chat from there. Thanks, and I'm sending you all the love. I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. Is by a psychologist, Carl blah, blah, blah. Words. Where are the words? Where are you? Literally sweating bullets. It's like 74 degrees in here. Hey, I like this hair. Fuck, I'm looking at the wrong spot. It's taken me fucking 1,200 hours today to press record, and here we are. Here we are. Yeah.